need it. They need it bad. Otherwise, 14 for Aurora. I like that Aurora have again elected to change things up a little bit. They've maybe fattened down the hatches a bit. Pace lowered. Nothing too aggressive this time out, as they know that, well, number one, this is a huge round, but number two, that Big might be reticent to get aggressive.
And Hyped, he's kind of stuck in the lane right now, focusing on two different spots at the same time. He's got Crimbo to trade if needed, as he's posted towards Boiler. If they can take Hype down, that'd be huge, but Favin, he is sneaking around this corner. Blackie tucks away, and he might just swing right off this. Yes, he does. He's able to turn around the corner at the right time. Favin going for the repeat. That's a mistake. Spray down is good. That's a man advantage for Aurora. There's a lot of threat here towards the A site. Big, pressured. But Aurora, again, not committing. That's another thing for Lackey. He is doing so much work right now. There's still one more player behind him. He won't realize that, but still, I think it might just be enough. Laddie connects with the op shot. One more to go in Keto. Norway, he's not going to let him get too far.
And in a game where maybe Norway a little slower to start than we expect, one of the stars of this Aurora team, Lackey was consistently here, and he's consistently made impact. This was one of those rounds where Lackey just turns up, immediately finds the kills, and finds the round victory for Aurora. And what a time to do it, right? We talked how we said, Big, this was do or die. They really needed that round, but they still can't find it. Now it's up to an attempt, a half by an investment of utility with the pistols in hand. But Big haven't actually had all that much success with this buy throughout.
Oh my goodness, Keto flashes himself in, picks up the AK, little upgrade on the other side of the map, though. Aurora are getting some kills of their own. 3v3 is it again, it's more pressure towards this A bomb site, and Favin asked to do a lot of work here. Scout in hand. Transitioning between the balcony side, gets the tag off. That's not going to be enough for the kill, though. Now his position has been located. Kyoto rotating in after that aggressive 5-7 play. He'll get the AK-47 active. And Aurora trying to hold things down. There's a lot of time here, but look at Favin. Laddie, oh my goodness. Lands the no-scope through the smoke, just sees a little inkling of him. And now it's a 2v2.
Keto is the key. Thompson was being watched. Now, they've actually let him get by. Laddie can take the fight. Smoke is going to allow Kinsey time to swing through. Keto now alone. Clutch required. It's going to force out one player there on the site. Now creates the 1v1. Hits the shots, and Keto with an incredible clutch to pit Big back into this game. Big could have been done, but 15 denied as Aurora will lose out. Incredible stuff from Keto.
Yeah, he really needed to do absolutely everything in that round. The quad kill, you get started here with the 5-7 kill, picks up the AK, rotates around to support his teammates, and ends up being the last alive. Does not falter under pressure. I love this. The Molotov to clear out pit, and then the turnaround shot is beautiful right there to take down Laddie, who has been pretty hot throughout this map number one, and Big stay alive by the skin of their teeth.
I mean, to be fair, can you really talk about anybody who hasn't had some very high impact moments here for Aurora? I don't think you can. I think everybody is having impact. Same, relatively true for Big. It's just a back and forth. It's Laddie is going to have the first shot. He is going to back up as his feet are on fire. Movement. A massive win. Another player here. Kinsey doesn't really expect it, but Laddie goes back for more. Keto stands tall as he's got another high-impact double kill to potentially bring Big back, but the B site is not where the push is going. It's back to A, and that is entirely empty as Crimbo had to give it up. He's going to have to wait for his teammate to regroup and regain. As Seltzer has at least spotted one player. Spawn has yet to go down as Norway has it.
Kenzie, this is a great angle as well. Watching for the cross, Crimbo rotating in. Clear, yes he will. And he needed that one. Kind of ducks under the shot from Kenzie. But time is against them, and this is going to be a long rotate from Keto as well. So Crimbo, he's got a lot on his plate right here as Seltzer tucks away in the small pit. The bomb ticks down, the Molotov not going to clear him out. Seltzer listening, waiting. There's the peek from Norway. He gets the kill, traded. And now Selter just doing the best he can to hide here. Limbo, he's got a good idea. He's got the spray down.
No kit, no kit.
There's no kit. He's picked one up, but I think it's just a little too late. Yep, just indeed. It's going to be Aurora with map point. Big, they did everything there. Keto again with 2 really good kills, but it's not enough.
Before he took them over the edge all on his own, so he couldn't do it again. A nice fight there towards Moto, and Big. They are now up against 4 map points in a row in order to bring this back to victory. Somehow still buying, actually, which is a bit surprising. They have so much cash. I mean, they have loss bonus, but I guess, well, they didn't even have a lot of players. I'm a bit befuddled, but nonetheless, the buy is what it is. Keto's the only one making sacrifices here because he has the MP9, but he's been good with whatever weapon he needs to be.
Curious to see what the play call is from Aurora. They have shown so many different looks here on their T side, keeping it very unpredictable, keeping Big on their toes. Now Norway, once again at the front of the pack, will get flashed in, but the counter flash is good, and Keto gets that MP9 active. Good kill from him, and Norway has to back up. He's also low HP, so they've actually completely smoked Aurora out of Banana. Now they've got to adjust things, find a different way of life.
Rose, but Hyped is in position. Dodging flashes left and right, but he cannot dodge a Molotov, so he'll have to evacuate temporarily Molly of mid in order to lock players in who are already there. That allows Hyped to swing a bit wider, to get confirmation that bracket is still under the CT side's rule. But that's only for the time being, as there is a player just about ready to go towards Boiler. And Hyped thinking about smoking it off, but there's 30 seconds. Realizes that that's far more valuable inside apartments, and this 30-second timeline, Aurora, they need to step it up. They need to get some moves here towards the A site is the only option.
Yeah, really playing with time here. Selter swinging in. The Molotov should clear the pit player, and Norway's landed the shot. It needs to be a good trade from Laddie. He's got it. That'll be just enough time to get the bomb down, and man, they really made that one close, and now Big, they've got to clutch up here. Norway posted from the lane side, hoping that he can get this 1 bullet, 1 kill. Can see he's not looking for him. Taps and drops. Good dodge of the flash from Norway. Good flick. And Kato's the last alive. Can he clutch up again? No, he can't. Kenzie shuts it down, and Aurora, they rob Berlin International Gaming of Inferno.
That they do. What an incredible round as well. No idea how Norway gets that kill as well on the AWP, but regardless, Kenzie's position inside of Library just makes a difference. It's absolutely sublime, and a big upset, no pun intended, here for Aurora. Big's map pick going their way, and Danny, I mean, I'm just saying, this was the scary thing. If this happened, Aurora have a really solid chance to bring this away in just 2 maps. Of course, that's a big if, and we got to continue talking about this map before we move towards Nuke, because talk about Aurora's CT side versus T side. I mentioned Big good on the CT, Aurora good on the T. Man, Aurora, they showed that their CT side was not at all a problem for them. They pretty much equalized Big, and then they dominate on the T.
Yeah, well, the statistics actually played out exactly how they should, if you read it on paper. Aurora, they did just enough on their CT side to keep it close. It was an 8-7.5, so good for them. That's all they needed to give them a little boost into the T side. We mentioned Aurora, a lot better on the T side of Inferno, and it definitely showed here. They were off and running as soon as they got rifles in their hands. Big tried to do everything they could to catch up with them, but that CT side economy so fragile, and so many times Big had to deal with the saves, and that allowed Aurora to continue to build these rounds, widen the gap, and Big just not able to convert enough, and Aurora, they take it away. And like you mentioned, this is one of the really big factors for Aurora if they wanted to win this match, taking Inferno away from Big, and now they go to their home territory in Nuke. This could very well be the 2-0 that we were mentioning.
Could be. Let's talk about the individuals though for just a moment. Man, Crimbo and Keto, they played very well. Keto with that clutch was a huge factor, I think, for this continuing on even just a round or two. But in general, I think Aurora didn't have a weak individual. Like even
Mm.
Seltzer, who is at the bottom of the scoreboard, was very impactful in the kills that he was getting. And we saw some massive moments from everybody else. I think that Aurora deserve a pat on the back because they were at their best. This is where Aurora are dangerous, is because they don't have a particularly big weak point on this roster.
And we'll get the MVP for Inferno. It's Kenzie. And how many times did we see Kenzie on the kill feed multiple times with so many multi-kill rounds? He had provided big impact, 96 ADR. Not really the entry man, but always there to clean up after his teammates. And yeah, I mean, that MVP really could have gone to anybody. I think Kenzie is definitely a good pick. He had the most kind of individual, I would say, separation from the rest of the players. But overall, this is a great team win from Aurora. And this is what we're saying about them beating any team at any moment. When they can play as well as they did on that T side of Inferno, it's tough to stop.
It absolutely is. And, it's not surprising that Kenzie's picking up yet another MVP. It's because, he's in the top five for, getting one or more kills per round in this event. Like both him and Laddie are actually in that conversation in the top five.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive. It's fantastic to see. And well, with Nuke coming up, I am incredibly pumped up. We'll see what can be done if Nuke is going to indeed be Aurora's home and stay that way, or if Big could maybe make their own upset on that map. We'll see all of that and more when we come back after this break.
Well, Aurora have checked off the first box when it comes to what they need to do in order to beat Big here in the quarterfinals. Check box number one. Beat them on Inferno. Got it. All right, next should be fairly easy in theory, or easier, I would say, considering the stats that we've seen from Aurora. It's now Nuke. This is Aurora's map pick. Vincent, how are we feeling about this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's Aurora's home map, and I mean, we can maybe pull up those stats and talk a little bit about them and how on number one, yeah, it seems like it'd be easier, but number two, maybe that's not quite as easy as it appears on paper. 80% win rate here for Aurora. We saw them win yesterday up against Malzahn XT. And Big, it's not been great. You know, sub 40% win rate isn't ideal, but here's where things get a little bit more complicated. Big, they've been exclusively playing against teams in the top 30 pretty much. So with that being said, Aurora, they're not even in that conversation, right? Like the worst wins, the worst games we should say, is Big playing Falcons close on Nuke, but that's Falcons best map as well. But they beat Heroic on Nuke. It did Big at I Am Rio. Sure, they lost to Vitality twice, but how could you expect anything else? It's one of these situations where you have to look at who they're playing, and it's all teams that are very high caliber that Big is playing, and yeah, losing to, but they're playing them close in these series.
And I would say on the other side of things as well, I think for Aurora, one stat that was kind of popping out to me was, again, that T side win rate. It's a 60% win rate on Nuke here for Aurora. So more often than not, they don't have to rely on the favorability of that CT side. So we'll see if that ends up playing a part here. We saw it definitely play a part on Inferno when they really kind of exploded in the second half to end up winning that game. And Nuke, it's no Inferno. It's obviously a lot more CT sided, but we'll see if the T side ends up being another kind of point of contention here. As you know, yeah, Big, they play a lot of really good teams day in and day